I wanted to talk to you this morning about critical moments. In critical moments, that's when things can go either way. Let's say your toddler has fallen into a pool and you're pulling them out and you don't know CPR and you don't know what to do, and you just begin to panic. You have a critical amount of time there that you have to do something. And you have to do it fast. And those two moments are critical. If you allow panic to take over, or if you allow defeat to set in, if you just look at that child and go, they're not breathing. Oh, they're not breathing. No, they're not breathing. Oh my God. You see where I'm going with this? Those minutes were critical. You should have used them wisely. I mean, we all know the stop, drop, and roll. There's certain things in life that just to live wisely, you need information about. Like, if you don't know the information right now, start Googling when you get home. I mean, I just found out this last week, somebody sent me the information that if your car goes underwater, if you accidentally are airborne, go down into the thing, don't even try to push open the doors, your windshield's not going to break. Go out the back window. Go to the back window and start kicking it out. That is your best chance of getting out, because that back window can be kicked outward. So I thought, how come I don't know that? That should have been taught with stop, drop, and roll, right? I mean, this is a class that every child should take. How to save your life in any instance. And I don't know why they don't have them out there, but that's essential. So parents have got to do it. But these critical moments determine which way a situation is going to go. And when you're walking in the spirit world, there are critical moments that will determine which way this situation is going to go. Maybe you feel like you lost the critical moment. Maybe you're grieving that in the critical moment, you did not have the information available to you, that you could know what to do in the spirit. And I've had such an urgency lately to move into this place where the Spirit dictates the moment. You have to walk in the Spirit to be able for the Spirit to dictate any given moment. And praying over our food for 5 minutes doesn't cut it. Being thankful doesn't cut it. You have to walk in tune with the Spirit. And I walk through the world just like you do, deeply concerned that I could be missing vital information at a given moment. And that's one thing that my husband and I have been pushing so hard for this in the spirit world. If the Lord never lets me see Jesus with my natural born eyes, I'll be fine. I felt him so deeply in a supernatural manner. Supernatural just means a feeling beyond what this world can offer the human experience. I have had his presence in me so illuminating me that I could not speak and I trembled in his presence, and all I could do was weep. I'll be fine. But there's thousands of unbelievers that miracles and signs and wonders were supposed to follow us, not for us to believe, so that they would believe. And here lies the conundrum. We have to be spirit led to walk in the Spirit. And you have to seek after the things of God. And it takes more time than you think it would. You think an hour a day, like you've made a commitment, that's not nothing. But you think that would just move you into these dynamic moments. But try it. Maybe for you it works. I noticed that when you first start doing something for a while, God is on it. He's blessing it. But when he wants you to move deeper, he kind of lifts a little bit. He said, move on, go on. Move into the deep. And you'll notice this in your walk with God. If you feel like the things you've already laid down seem insufficient somehow, like you're just not getting what you used to get, that's him saying, come on, I got more stuff to teach you. So I was starting to talk. Fran was telling me how excited and thrilled she is about going out and feeding the poor, and how God has just provided, and these people know who the church is. This was something I had prayed about for so long, but in that conversation, I started trying to explain to her, because I hadn't really been able to vocalize what this push was. I just knew something's got to move deeper, and my husband and I had just joined as a team. Eyes and change lives, and you've got to come with something in your hand to say, no, this is the real living God. Yeah. And that's the urgency of the moment, and it's the critical moment. And that's what I had just been feeling. And as I began to explain to her what I was feeling, it started coming out what I'm actually feeling. There's issues in our lives that must not wait. Lives are being destroyed. Lives are being lived without the nourishment of God's presence. There's people that matter to us and people we don't know yet who will matter to us. And there's urgency. When you're praying for a family member, you're saying to yourself, the days are short and the times are evil. And I'm not just going to stand here and not have urgency. And I just want to tell you this morning that time is different to God than it is to us. We're the ones boxed in by time. He lives outside of time. Time even mattered to him when he was a human. He wasn't ready at 33 years old to end his ministry. He wanted more time. And by that you understand, he understood the human experience. You've got the Bible stories, and it came to me that in the Bible stories, you know what caused many, many of the miracles was the desire of the person with the need, and their urgency drove the ask. Their urgency drove the ask. The woman with the issue of blood could have stayed on the outer cycle and said, if Jesus passed by me today, then I'll know it's God's will to heal me. Don't ever fall that you have to just receive God's will. We're fighting on this earth. We're fighting for stuff. We're fighting for our own help. We're fighting for health. We're fighting for strength. She said her urgency was what made her crawl through masses. You got blind Bartimaeus standing on the side of the road yelling. Everybody else was cool. Like they were just watching Jesus. He's probably the celebrity of the day. Jesus is coming. Oh, come on, let's go see what he's doing, watching him. And this blind man's over here screaming the house down, Jesus, oh son of David, have mercy on me. He was embarrassing the city folk. Come on, shh, be quiet. But his urgency was what drove the ask. And that urgency was what got him the miracle. Urgency. The urgency of Peter being in prison, they were fixing to cut off his head, made the church go into a 24-hour prayer chain. We're not leaving here. We're not going to quit praying until he comes out. Then the angel comes. Urgency. I'm not talking about what God promised you, like when he promised Abraham, you're going to be the father of many nations. This is not the thing. You're looking at a situation that is dire. Maybe your family is not saved. I know many people here are praying deeply for their family. And you realize that the days of the life are passing. More damage is being done daily by the enemy. And the Bible says that deliverance is not on hold and salvation is not on delay. So you don't have to stand here and say, when is God's will? When God gets ready. No, it's with you. It's the urgency of the ask. No, I will not let you go until you bless me. Think about that. Here's Jacob, a liar, a cheater, a thief multiple times over. His very name stands for schemer, trickster, swindler, supplanter. Maybe your name doesn't mean all those bad things, and maybe you haven't done all those bad things, but here's Jacob, and he has. And any favor he carries is coming from the promises made by his father, which he cheated and got. He tricked his father. He tricked his overbrother. So we have a lying, cheating thief of a son who's terrified because his own actions he's going to be killed. And then we have a moment when the angel of the Lord comes down, maybe to nourish him or to do something. The angel of the Lord comes to him. And he starts wrestling the angel. Like, haven't you offended God enough with all the things you've done? Now you're going to wrestle with the angel? This is the angel of the presence of the Lord, the angel. You're going to do that? And does he stop? No. He keeps right on a death grip on this angel. And the angel's, here's the voice of God saying, let me go. And he's going, no, I will not let you go until you bless me. No, I won't let you go. How does disobedience get God to give you the miracle you need? When it's determination and it's urgent and you're not going to let him go until the need is met. He disobeyed God. He's already a cheater, a supplanter, a schemer. He's fixing to die probably worthily. He's cheated a bunch of people. He's stole a bunch of things. But he disobeys the angel of the presence of the Lord and says, I will not. Let me go. I won't. Let me go. Won't. What does he get? The answer that he needed. Favor with God. Why? Because of the urgency of the ask. And I just want to encourage you. Don't stand around and wait for God's will. God's waiting for you to become urgent, panicked, determined. Every time the devil tells you stop begging the Lord and quit asking for the same thing over and over again, and you go, no, I'm not going to let him go till he blesses me. I'm not leaving this altar empty-handed. I've come with an ask that I know is God's will, and I'm not going away until I get it. Listen, be urgent. Time is short and the days are evil, and we need to walk out in this world with miracles, signs, and wonders are our hand so that they will believe and be saved. In Jesus' name, let I pass the urgency. Anybody that wants urgency to be imparted to you for the last days of whatever the last days are, whether they're 400 days, whether they're 4 days, or whether they're 4,000 more years, whatever these days are, if you want to walk in the world to be impassioned, to walk with miracles, signs, and wonders in your hands, you're not ever going to do it as long as you sit there and wait for God's will. Urgency, urgency. God bless you all.